Hey,
Without
wonderful.
sharing, there you go. You're good.
So a really quick introduction. I am Elle Charles representing Exceptional Minds, and I'm honored to have our chairperson, Patricia, with us. I'm going to give you a quick overview of our organization and some ways you can get involved. And then I'd like to pass it over to Patricia. She's going to share her personal story and experience with our organization. And then we should leave about 5 minutes for Q&A. And Judy, you will be sending out the slides with all the links. Is that correct? So if people would like to follow up with us at a later date, they have all of our information. Okay.
Was I on mute?
You are on mute.
Okay, sorry about that. I said, yes, I will be sending out the slides as well as the session is being recorded, and I will send out a link to that recording as well.
Perfect. Well, with that, I'm going to introduce you all to Exceptional Minds. So we are actually an academy and a studio preparing young adults on the autism spectrum for careers in the entertainment industry. And this is a wonderful sizzle reel. I'm going to skip it just for the interest of time, but please take the time to get to know it, to see it. This is actually a picture of our wonderful students in our new space. And as you will see, we pride ourselves, we are teaching post-production. So our students come to the academy where they learn everything from animation, VFX, gaming, through their 3 years at the academy. And we also, in this space, have a studio where we employ 20 graduates, part-time, full-time, and they work on everything from titles to some post-production work for Marvel films. It's absolutely incredible. So I'd like to share a couple of stories with you. First of all, we have Kate. She's wearing the white t-shirt that says 25 on it. She actually found about Exceptional Minds through her own volition. She joined the academy, and after 3 years realized she was ready to take on the next steps and got hired at Nickelodeon, where she's actually on the production side. A couple of years into it, she came back and hired another alumni from our organization, Ryan, and now they actually have another intern working from them. So we're very proud of Kate and her accomplishments and our partnership with Nickelodeon. They continue to provide internships, mentorships, and jobs for our alumni. This is Xavier. So Xavier is a phenomenal student who he went through our academy program, and he actually was unable to find employment until he came to Exceptional Minds. He commuted 4 hours every day to come to our academy, where he never missed a day. And after he graduated, Marvel brought him on for part-time work, and eventually they hired him, and now he's been there for 3 years. So we have some incredible statistics here at Exceptional Minds. We're celebrating our 10th year anniversary, and our first graduating class was in 2014. We pride ourselves, we have very small class size. Because we're able to have a small class size, we have more of an individualized education approach. So our teachers have the time to get to know the students. All of our teachers have a background in post-production, in animation, in VFX. In fact, some of our studios have actually poached some of our instructors because they have such incredible talent. And I think that's really what sets us apart, is that it's the blend of these teachers who care so deeply about our kids, but they're actually experts in their field, which allows our students to go get jobs. We have a 94% graduation rate. And I think what's not on here is our employment rate, which I am very proud is about 68%. And this continues to climb. We have strong partnerships with Disney, Marvel, Universal, Sony. We did an incredible partnership with Netflix. And these deep partnerships are what continue to get our students jobs and work. Oh, and also I think it's important to note that we do have scholarships. Not everybody is able to pay for the academy, and it's incredibly important that we afford every student who applies the opportunity. We do have a 57% application rate increase, and so it's a not as easy to get into the academy as it has in the past, but we're looking to quickly expand so we can allow for larger, more students to attend. So I wanted to take the time to show you our space. We've expanded into a bigger building. We've taken over about 1/4 of a floor, and this houses both the academy, which is 3 years. And I think what's really interesting is it creates stackable skills. So in the first year, you do a little bit of VFX, a little bit of animation, and 20% of that is actually career readiness. And these are in these classrooms behind it. But as you can see, it's very conducive to the social emotional skills of our students. It's a creative and welcoming space. We're, of course, a technology company, so we pride ourselves in having top of the line technology. A lot of it is donated from our partnerships. Of course, we'd love to welcome you on a campus tour. I'm unable to show you the studio, but it has a very similar look and feel. Small class sizes, a lot of individualized attention. So as I mentioned, we have the Academy, which is a 3-year commitment. We've actually just started rolling out. Due to the pandemic, we had to quickly transition to virtual learning. We actually found out we were incredibly successful, and as a result, able to reach students across 28 states, 4 countries, and it quickly expanded our student body. We're going to continue that, and I hope that you will all follow us. If you have students ages 12 and up, we have summer programs, part-time spring programs, some virtual programs to get them involved. And then the studio work, of course, does animation, VFX, and they're doing some gaming components. And as I mentioned, 20% of our 20% of our curriculum is committed to career readiness. And this is all 3 years in the academy, and it's teaching those stackable skills. So it's how do you create a resume? How do you navigate through an interview? And we try to authenticate it. And this is what I find is absolutely incredible. We ask our partners at Disney, at Marvel, to come help us do mock interviews, provide shadow days. Our students are able to apply for internships and mentorships with all of our partners. And I think this authentication allows, so when our students do apply for a job and they do secure a career, they're successful. As you saw, Xavier he's been working at Marvel for 3 years. And that's something we pride ourselves in. But also while we're doing these stackable career readiness skills, we're simultaneously working with our employers to ensure that our students are successful in whatever environment they go into by preparing our employers. So we share best practices that we've learned at the studio or what we're working on in the academy to prepare our students. And simultaneously through this discourse, our partners are telling us, this is something your students need to be learning in the academy. You know, the V-Ray software that you guys are using is actually cutting edge, and you should couple it with a complete, something else to make sure that we're teaching and preparing our students for the future and not for today's work. I'm incredibly amazed at our mentorships. We just wrapped up a mentorship with Netflix where 36 of our students were paired with a Netflix mentor over 6 months. We did a similar program with Cartoons. Of course, through our academy and our studio, we have partnered with a couple of different programming, including As We See It. And actually, Jason Kadums his wife, Kathleen, has come to our studio a couple of times to talk about our collaboration with those programs. We are so proud of our partners. I think what sets us apart is the fact that these partners dig in deep. They don't leave us, they're with us. Some of us have been with us for the last 10 years, and we expect them to be with us for the next 10. And they are committed to helping our students be successful, whether it's at their organization or at another. We want you to all get involved, so join us. If you go to our website, you can join us by signing up for our newsletter, which is at the bottom. And this just shares a plethora of opportunities for your student or the job board or new things we're doing at Exceptional Minds. And of course, follow us on social media. You'll get a better look and feel for our students and the space and the teachers. We have some exciting summer workshops that I talked about. Some of these are virtual, and these are for younger students. We accept students as young as 12. We also have a part-time virtual spring program that is also on the website, and we're accepting applications. And of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I'm here in Orange County. I'm more than willing to meet with anyone and connect you to the right person. And with that, I'd like to pass it over to Patricia. She is going to share her personal story, and then we can do some Q&A.
Oh, thanks, Elle. Yeah, I know there's a lot of other great content coming after this, so I'm really just going to give you the very quick personal story of and really how I became so thankful and utterly involved in Exceptional Minds to the point where, you know, I just started doing fundraising for them, and you know, I've been the treasurer, the secretary of the board, and now I'm the board chair. Because it was such an incredible program and changed our family's life so much. But my one son, Andrew, is 26 now, and he was, just for background, nonverbal until at least about 5. And fortunately, he started drawing at age 3. And it was a way for him to decompress and calm down after, you know, severe tantrums. So we were really thankful for that time that he could relax and lay on the floor and draw on a big piece of paper. But this actually became a 3 to 4 hour obsession per day, I guess you could say, or practice. And fast forward, obviously he became a very skilled artist with no teaching from anyone else. But fast forward to his teen years, we had as a family, we took an expat assignment overseas in Europe for 4 years. And, so he unfortunately left at 13 and we came back at 18. And he really missed his whole transition program in the US. He learned a lot of other great skills over in overseas and got much more flexible than he had ever been in the US. But his old principal at Village Glen told me about the Exceptional Minds program. And at that point, he had been home. We had transitioned back to the United States, and he finished high school, and he wasn't motivated to go to college. And he was really just home for, it was 6 months to a year, but it really felt like 10 years, and he really regressed, his behavior regressed. But when I did find out about Exceptional Minds, again, through his old principal at Village Glen, and said, I really think this would be a great program for Andrew. I'd called him and was talking about ideas. I was at the end of my rope of what his future would really look like. It was looking pretty grim. And, he started doing some, I contacted them, we went to visit, and he started doing some one-on-one tutoring. And it just really sparked something inside of him, and this whole creative content, and he always loved films. And he finally, applied for the full-time program and went through a 3-year program there with a lot of, rigor. His social skills changed immensely. That, I think, was the biggest. He can collaborate with people. He dressed completely differently. They had, Thursday, professional day, and really the program is so much more than the 2D animation skills and visual effects and 3D skills, modeling skills that he also learned.
I'm sorry, Blake, who's?
Sorry, in the end, he graduated, and he has been working through the Exceptional Minds studio, the animation studio. We moved down to Orange County as my father was really ill and needed some help, and that kind of pulled him a little bit away from the studio. He's actually doing remote studio work now, and that's working out really well. But I'm hoping to find a studio in Orange County, or his dream is to find a studio in Orange County, so he could land, a full-time job at a real studio. But that's his dream. I was asking him about that tonight at dinner. What he would want me to say on his behalf, but it's been a really incredible story. And by the way, he lives in his own apartment in Huntington Beach, over by Bellaterra, and is so happy with his life. So that's a story of what we've been through, our journey.
Thank you.
Thanks, Patricia and Elle. You have quite a few questions, so if you don't mind,
I know I'm on a little laptop, so it's really hard to see.
No, and
there were some questions about financial aid, so you might want to take that, Elle.
We do. We actually provide, in the past 4 years, we've provided about 1.2 million in financial aid, and we have a variety of financial aid assistance from full-time to just supplementary. And as you heard from Patricia's story, if many of you are interested, I encourage you, as her son did, either come and meet one of our teachers and do tutoring, or follow the links and do one of the virtual classes online or one of the summer courses. And I think it's a great chance to dip your toe in the water. As far as music production, we haven't really gotten into that yet. You know, that's kind of its own beast, but we do things around music composition. Some of our classes are doing things with automating music videos, but not so much. We don't have a production studio for music. Any other questions?
There is another, I'm forgetting the name of it, but there is a music version of kind of Exceptional Minds based out of LA. I'll get the name and put it in the chat.
And then Elle, there was a question about Disney.
Oh yeah, so Disney is one of our strong partners. So Disney and Marvel are really now one company. And not only have they hired students like Xavier, but so we have our own separate studio. It's kind of hard to visualize until you come visit us. It's like having a school and also a post-production house all housed in the same place. So it's really exciting as we hire our own students and we do our own work. And Marvel is actually one of our biggest clients. So you will see us, if you're watching some of the Marvel movies and the Disney movies, you're actually going to see us tagged at the end. We do a lot of the title credits. You'll see Exceptional Minds at the end of Disney. It's really exciting. Oh, thank you. I'm muted. So the age, we don't have a maximum. We actually have students right now, 34, 35, but the minimum for the summer programs is 12. And to be a part of the academy, you need to have graduated from high school. And of course, be on the autism spectrum. We are in Sherman Oaks, that is correct. During the pandemic, like most organizations, we had to quickly pivot to online, and we actually were so surprised at how successful we were at delivering programs. There was no hiccup. We had a very smooth transition. And because it allows us to reach a broader spectrum, we are continuing our online reach for the spring classes. We're going to test this out. It should be up on our website within the next 2 weeks. The spring classes begin mid-April. So it's a chance once again to do all the post-production work in animation, VFX, some gaming. And that is, of course, those classes are for 18. And of course, there's no age limit, but the summer courses are for a younger group. They start at about 12. Oh, the guys commute. Yes, so this individual, Xavier, he was on a bus for 2 hours to our studio every day to get there and then 2 hours home. So it's kind of, I live in Orange County. It's kind of like our drive up and our drive home, but he's really committed. And then another thing, which I think Patricia touched on, some of our students actually are from out of state, and they found housing with another student and live adjacent to our studio so that they're within walking distance.
So Elle and Patricia, I'm hoping we can gain a little time so we have more time for the discussion with everybody. Okay. So I think what I'd like to do is introduce our next speaker, Ryan Hetrick, who is a supervisor at AFA HUB. Hi, Ryan.
Hello. Thanks for having
me.
Good to see everyone. Yeah. So, I'm Ryan from AFA HUB. I'll pull up my contact information in a minute, but just wanted to give a general intro first. So we're an online educational platform that specializes in teaching neurodiverse young adults. And again, we also don't really have an age limit. And we have 1- and 2-year programs in animation, visual effects, video game design, and filmmaking. And our program's pretty unique because, you know, the first year you'll see, we're going to show a video, it'll break down what you're going to learn the first year. It's kind of an overview. And then the second year is sort of your guide of designing your own portfolio. And, you know, we help you become job ready with resumes and cover letters and all that before we hopefully get you into an internship or through our customized employment or micro enterprise program. So we have a lot of different angles to help students, during the education, but also in the transition to getting a job, and which is of course one of the most important parts. So I'm going to show a little video that has like an overview of the program, and then we'll see some of the students' work here in a minute. And we also have one of our students with us today, so I'm excited. And just a reminder that please put your questions in the chat. We'll try to get to those afterwards. So here's the first presentation. I'm just going to let this one play through because it covers everything pretty comprehensively about how to apply. And we are vendored from the California Regional Centers, so those help with funding a lot for students. So you can ask me more about that in the email. But let's get through this, because I would also like to get through ours a little early to save time for discussion for everyone. So here we go.
Welcome to AFA Hub, where blended action meets innovation. Get to know us. Since 2005, AFA Hub has transformed thousands of careers through new and innovative programs. We are a pioneer in today's most in-demand skills. At AFA Hub, you get dynamic curriculum and expert instructors online, a professional community of like-minded individuals, professional career guidance with support each step of the way. What makes AFA Hub extraordinary? Today's complex economy is leading us to the fourth industrial revolution. This will require a skilled workforce that can leverage technology. AFA Hub's robust suite of learning paths include animation, film, video game design, visual effects. Students can choose a learning path that assists them best in achieving their goals. What is a learning path? A learning path is a particular field that you choose to study. All of AFA Hub's learning paths consists of 6 courses, which are 2 months in duration, that make up your first year of study. Students may attend a second year and specialize in a particular area at the recommendation of our team. AFA Hub's learning paths and prospective courses: animation, fundamentals of animation, 2D animation, 3D animation, conceptual storytelling, storyboarding, portfolio and career development, film, producing, directing, camera and lighting, sound design, screenwriting, editing, video game design, intro to game development, character design, game mechanics, level design, rigging, editing and UV mapping, visual effects, After Effects basics, color transitions, motion tracking, rotoscoping, text and logos, action essentials. AFA Hub adapts to the industry. Dynamic fields such as animation, film, video game design, and visual effects evolve in real time. We continuously respond to the industry demand and the evolution of tools and techniques. Our amazing team of instructors and education experts continuously refresh our curriculum to ensure relevancy in the industry. How to get started? Submit an application online at www.afahub.com. Submit required documents. Remote interview. Admissions test. Access to education. Our dynamic curriculum allows us to accept new students year-round. Each learning path is divided into 6 courses. This gives us the opportunity to accept students on the first of every other month at the start of a new course. Access to funding and opportunity. As part of our commitment to accessible and affordable education, we are an approved vendor with the California Regional Centers. This enables our students to have the cost of their tuition covered. In turn, gives them the opportunity to focus on their skill building without the stress of a financial burden. Continuous development. Many of the industries in today's world incorporate blended action. Blended action occurs when more than one skill area is required to meet the demands of a particular industry. As a result, some of our students choose to cross-train by deciding to attend another learning path after graduation. Why we are person-centered. AFA Hub chooses to focus on your interests and what you do well, rather than on things you can't do or on your needs alone. A person-centered plan is a plan for you, not for a system. We work with you to create a vision for your future and focus on how to get started on working towards your dream. Your person-centered plan will be especially for you and will be different from anyone else's plan since it is based upon you and created with you. We believe this plan is vital for us to assist you in your educational journey. We have a vast network. AFA Hub prides itself on the vast network of hiring partners across all learning paths. In addition, our courses are designed exclusively for employer needs. We foster a pipeline of industry professionals who serve as instructors, mentors, and coaches. This thriving network helps our recent graduates find jobs or create micro businesses. This helps them to make connections, setting them up for success on the job and in life. AFA Hub Hiring Partners. Success stories. Our graduates thrive at small business startups and big businesses alike. Our graduates are currently enjoying success in a variety of settings. Quantitative data is compiled each year on our graduates. Currently, we have a 97% success rate in our students finding jobs post-graduation. Customized employment, micro-enterprise development, paid internship program, apprenticeships. Network effect. Our alumni community is a collective group of creators made up of individuals who are motivated and possess an entrepreneurial spirit, are equipped with the most in-demand skills for the fourth industrial revolution.
In terms of our online classes, they are online at this time, and we've also found that students really thrived in that. And since a lot of the jobs are also moving to more remote, we found that it helped to support them in that transition. A lot of them had also mentioned that, you know, the commute was something that was stressful and took away from their education. So that was another reason we had decided to stay and move to the online platform side of things. But they've, you know, just shown to blossom even more there. And there's still a lot of social interaction with the classes. So the class sizes are also very small, 8 to 10 students per class. And in terms of the interaction, you know, every week they get a chance to meet with the 1- and 2-year classes because they're sort of separated into different rooms. And, you know, they get a chance to share their work and present and take critiques and notes from other students and get practice, you know, in other areas of socialization in terms of their profession. And after graduation, you know, we find that in terms of supporting them, it really helps to, you know, not only help them develop the actual portfolio and give them one-on-one support with answering emails and looking through job postings. And so we get into those details with the students as well for the transition. We have, you know, several great success stories where several students in their second year, you know, they may have finished their goals early because, as you saw, the second year is based on them developing a portfolio in the area they want. So, you know, in this case, it might be screenwriting, and they would develop several kind of short scripts, a feature-length script. They would do script coverage, you know, and basically be proficient and also pitching their stories. So we had a student that finished his goals early, and basically we were able to help him get several small gigs, things on Fiverr or what he found online, and we were to help him negotiate that. And over the course of time, he was able to find a script competition that actually hired him, you know, to do script coverage, and they brought him back for more than 1 year. And then he also got part of a paid internship program working on stories for an animation company that we have a partnership with. And so, you know, we really try to help students in that gradual process of getting used to the job search and putting in the time outside of class, learning time management and, you know, figuring out what their schedule is going to look like after they graduate. You know, and we have a lot of social elements, even though it's online. You know, we have a lunch hour where there's like trivia, games, and discussion. So there's various areas we still try to keep the students, you know, interacting in that way, even though we're remote. So I want to move on because I want to get Josh in here, but before we do that, I'd like to show some of the student work, and then we'll move into introducing Josh and taking some questions. So hopefully that one played a little smoother. That was a collaboration of, you know, the different departments that we have, and those were, you know, students' original pieces that, you know, they came up with and used for their portfolio and developed over the course of their second or third year. You know, we do have some students, as it mentioned, that do that blended action. And, you know, for instance, we had a student who took animation and did 2 years of that, focused on 2D character animation. He realized he also wanted to kind of have a foot in the video game industry. So he took the video game 2-year program as well. And so his specialty in the second year of that is 3D character design. And so now he has a sense, you know, to be able to work in both areas. And, you know, he does prefer video games, but it opens up his opportunities after graduation. So I always like to see those examples. So I would like to also introduce one of our students in the filmmaking program. Let's bring on Josh. I want to say hi to everyone, Josh.
Hi.
So Josh is going to give us just a quick summary and an overview of how AFA Hub has helped him hone in on his art and you know, love of editing. So yeah, Josh, if you could tell us how we've helped you, hopefully.
Yeah, I'd have to say it reaffirmed why I chose it, you know, why I chose filmmaking as a career in the first place. And I wanted to be an editor ever since I was very young. And now taking this program, it really taught me some necessary tools that I needed to, you know, work on that process. Plus, it also this program also taught me the other basic essentials in filmmaking, and it's really showcased that. And I love each and every single field even more than I did when I started.
Great, glad to hear that. And in terms of the interaction with the other students and teacher, what do you feel like you've learned from interacting with them in your projects?
I've learned that I've learned a lot from working with each and every single individual that I met within the program, and I'd say all of them have great, amazing ideas in terms of what they want to do in terms of their filmmaking prowess. In fact, I would say there are a few I would love to see their scripts come to life in a way.
Yeah, 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 I'd love to see that as well. And could you speak to how the teacher and our staff try to be person-centered to your needs as a student?
Yeah, when I talk with any of the staff members, whether it's from year one, which I'm still in, and of course year two, they always, they've always been very encouraging, and also they're not afraid to take a moment to listen in on our ideas or anything that we do for our assignments and give us like the right guidance needed to help us with our projects. Whether it's small or big, it's just a matter of like how we present it.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. So I'd like to take a look at some of these possible questions here, if I can squeeze them in.
Yeah, why don't I ask them for you?
Sure.
Might make it a little easier. So there was a question about who are some of your partners?
Yeah, so there was a longer list on that slide, but some of our recent partners that we started with is Forstall Consulting, and basically there's some musicians that Shanna Forstall, who's in charge of that, they work on. There's like, I think 3 of our students are doing internships with her, and actually under Forstall Consulting, we have at least 2 students who I think have been working with her for about 3 years on various projects, music videos. You saw the children's book. I think they've come out with several more since then. And one of our new partners, Pigmental Studios, they've been wonderful. It's an animation and video game studio that I think we have about 5 students starting with them soon. So that they've been great, but I'll definitely provide a full list on that sheet and
Okay.
on that.
Yeah,
slide.
it's just no one could read it, so that I think that's
Yeah,
why.
sorry about that.
That's okay. People want to know where you're located.
So we had locations in Burbank and in Thousand Oaks, and technically those office locations are still there, but we teach all of our classes on the remote platform. So anyone from anywhere in California or the United States can actually take advantage of that.
Okay, and then somebody wanted to understand the assessment, how acceptance works.
Yeah, absolutely. So typically the steps to this, I'll break it down a little more because the video went through it quick and it was obviously a little blurry. So the first step is you just go to the website, and there's a short, like 10-minute application that you fill out there. And once we receive that, we usually reach out to your regional center coordinator just to try to get some other paperwork, like maybe the IPP. And that just helps us be more person-centered in our questions and assessment, of the student. After we receive the paperwork from the regional center, then we'll usually set up, it's like a interview and testing session. So that's typically like a math and reading tests. Those are about 8th grade level, and they're multiple choice. And they're not very long. I know some students freak out about the test. They're only about 10 questions. There's also computer literacy, multiple choice test. And then we have kind of a little job interview. It's, usually just about 5 or 10 minutes, and kind of make an overall assessment. And then once we get that information back to our group, they kind of reach out maybe to the regional center coordinator, kind of have a discussion. Usually within like 3 weeks to a month, we'll have made a decision, and then we can follow up with your regional center coordinator to help continue the rest of the process.
Okay, Ryan, people want to know if you can take just an individual class.
So, in terms of, I'm not sure if you mean subject matter or like just for one day or to audit a class. So like the animation class is going to be for a whole 2-year program that's just an animation. And so, you know, and then for film, and it's isolated. Now, we've had students that have changed, you know, maybe they came into animation and they realized, oh, they wanted to go into video game. We've had students that have sat in a class, or they've had discussions with the teacher to get more into the details to figure out, you know, am I really more into animation, or am I really more into video games?
Okay. Yeah, Josh, maybe you can answer this. So go off mute. So explain how the classes are offered. Are you taking multiple classes at once, or are they broken down into different terms?
How it works is that every 2 months we are put in one program, which is why we were in the film program. There are like 6 categories, which are producing, directing, lighting and cinematography, editing, sound effects, and screenwriting. So basically every 2 months we go into the first month learning it, and then the second month we, you know, work on the final part of the assignment, whether it's putting a short film together or presenting a massive script.
Okay, and what are the hours?
They are 5 hours, mostly stemming from, it's mostly starting at 10 a.m. in the morning to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And we get small breaks, like 10 minutes at the end of every hour, and then we get back at like 11:10 or 1:10, and there's also a lunch break in there.
Okay, terrific. Thank you. Ryan, are there tours available?
Yeah, so we're more than willing to do like a virtual tour or a more in-depth interview if a parent and a student want to kind of field some questions. Definitely, we set up those appointments all the time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I think what we're going to do is move on to the next. And do you want to say anything else in closing? Because we'll come back for discussion, and I think we're going to have enough time for some really good discussions with all of you. So
yeah, let me just post this real quick. I'm going to share my screen just so you can all see. If you want my contact information, to email me. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Just wanted to throw that up there before we move on.
I'll put it in the chat for you, Ryan. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was great talking, and thank you, Josh.
No problem, Ryan, and thank you anyone who asked me any questions, and you, Ryan, for, you know, you guys have been great, and I've loved this program ever since I began in the last 10 months, 11 months.
Yep, year 2 transition's coming up soon.
Yeah, year 2.
Okay, thanks, Josh and Ryan. So next up is, I'm trying to get rid of Josh here.
Excuse me, but what was your list of partners again? I think I saw ABC.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to post the video in the chat right now, so that if you guys want to refer to it. So I'll post it in just a moment.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. So our next speakers are Rebecca Beam and Hilary Kokenda, and it feels like I'm spending every week with them lately on Career Club. But when Rebecca started Zavikon almost a year ago, I think it's been quite a ride for you.
Sorry.
Oh, is that you, Hilary?
That was me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I suggested maybe they might want to focus on entertainment as an area of focus, and they were excited about the thought. So I'm interested to hear what they've done in that area. And without any further ado, hi, Rebecca. Hi, Hilary.
Hi.
Hi.
So we'll just start out with introducing ourselves. First of all, I want to say thank you, Judy. This is amazing. You've been talking about pulling this together, and it's a lot of hard work. So I appreciate what you've done. I love being in the company of its exceptional minds and AFA Hub. I'm a huge fan of both of you guys, so I love your work. And so I'm going to just introduce myself. Hilary will introduce herself. We're going to do a little presentation so you know how to work with us and what we're all about. We'll talk a little bit about entertainment and what we're doing there. And then I want to mention a webinar that we're going to have coming up. So for our individuals who need to build their portfolio. So I'm Rebecca Beam. I am the founder and CEO of Zavikon. I've had a, long career in recruiting and specifically in entertainment technology. In fact, that's how I met Hilary, is I placed her in one of her jobs within a studio. But I was always on the back side, the back office part of the studio, not the creative side. So always helping to build teams, to do artist payments and royalties and all that stuff to get all you wonderful artists paid. So, but in 2013, I helped start a little company called MindSpark. I was on the advisory board and I became a shareholder. And it was a company where we trained individuals to do testing, individuals on the autism spectrum. And so through my journey with MindSpark and then acquired by Audicon and became their president and CEO for 3 years, I realized that, with this unemployment, underemployment rate, that something had to be done. And a lot of the programs were focusing only on tech, and there wasn't, outside of like AFA Hub and Exceptional Minds, there wasn't like any agencies really focusing on placing individuals who had different types of skill sets. And so I started Zavikon to work with companies as a standard employment agency to help them find talent. And we place individuals in a supported manner. So what that means is we support the employer and we support the employee to make sure everybody's set up for success. And I'll go into that in a little bit in our presentation. But that's a little bit about me. I'm very passionate about employment and career and helping people navigate their way into a meaningful career. And I'll turn it over to Hilary to introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Hilary Kokenda. I am the COO of Zavikon. My journey to get here is a little bit different than Rebecca. I spent the majority of my career, a good 20 years, actually, working for the different studios. I worked for several of them. And again, kind of on the back end, more the business side, but also spent the last probably 5 or 6 years of my time at the studios working with those creative departments. So those departments that kind of steer the productions along the way. So I have a lot of experience with that side of the house without diving into the art of production. My journey to get to Zavikon was that I was a very traditional career, studios, Fortune 500 companies. And then my life has been touched by neurodiversity and disability. I have a niece who is disabled and my daughter is neurodivergent. So when Rebecca, who I had known for many, many years, told me about what she was doing, I jumped at the chance to join her. And I'm really excited to kind of that we are getting to merge both of my worlds in the now that I've jumped into this space and the entertainment space that I have spent so many years involved in. So we're really excited to be here, and we are very excited to help a lot of people get into this industry, because I know navigating it can be a little bit confusing sometimes, because there are so many, there's no one avenue to get into where you want to be. It's almost everybody's story is a little bit different. So we are happy to help navigate that.
Thanks, Hilary. Okay, I'll share my screen and I'm gonna pull up just a quick presentation that'll give you some guidance on how to work with us. Hold on, I gotta see, there we go. So we help candidates find the right career, we help employers find the right talent, and we support all for success because we believe everyone deserves an opportunity to have meaningful employment. And that's just our mission. It's to help qualified candidates with disabilities or those who are neurodivergent find employers who believe inclusion is the future. And our vision is to change the unemployment and underemployment outcomes for our community. So we can help individuals find career-oriented employment, and we support everyone for success. We work with individuals who are seeking careers, who have visible or invisible disabilities. We have programs set up for the blind, visually impaired, deaf, hard of hearing, neurodivergent, just to name a few. We look at the individual's talents and skills, and we place employees in all types of careers. So we do focus on everything from finance to technology to creative. And, you know, one of the reasons why I really focused on establishing a creative, leaning towards creatives, and I was really surprised at how many creatives that we had coming to us looking for opportunities when we opened the doors, and we were pleasantly surprised. So we've started to really establish our client base with the different entertainment companies, gaming companies. There's still a lot of work to do. We are a startup, and I want to put that out there. So our goal is to help everybody find a meaningful career. We can't promise you that we will find you that, but we will promise you we will give it our best shot, and we will focus as much as we can on helping you navigate it. Once we place a person, we have our career coaches that come in and help coach not only the employee, but the employer. And I think that is the most important piece, because we educate the employer on how to set you up for success. So our services for our candidates include job readiness training. We do career assessment, we do training, we do resume prep. We've been doing a lot of portfolio preparation recently. We don't actually do it, we just coach people through it. And social media branding, helping you improve your brand, making sure it's consistent with the way that you present yourself on your resume. We prepare you for your interview. We place you in jobs. We do the career coaching, job accommodation, identification. So we're setting you up for success. We call that success factors. And then, you know, we support, we advocate for you. We give you ongoing career advisement. As long as you'll have us, we'll be by your side. And recently, pretty soon to come, we're doing an interview simulation. It's an AR interview simulator to help coach you and understand how you actually are interviewing. So to get going with us, you can email us at info@zavikon.net, or you can fill out our contact form online at www.zavikon.net. We'll reach out to you with some initial forms to fill out. It's a consent to release information and a voluntary self-identification form. I think it's really important to know that when clients work with us, they do know that the only candidates that we work with are those who are neurodivergent, or those who are disabled. So, you know, it's already voluntarily self-identifying by working through us, but we do ask for a form to let us release information. Next up, you'll meet with one of our recruiters over a meet and greet via Zoom. It's usually 30 to 45 minutes. Then we'll send you some more online forms and some basic assessments, nothing scary. It includes a personality questionnaire where we kind of want to see if, are you a follower, are you a leader, are you know, how you would be in the workplace. A computer proficiency test and basic skills evaluations. Once we receive all of that, we start strategizing on companies that we can work with you on to represent you to. And then as we go through this process of representing you and these different clients, it's very interactive with us. We keep you informed of our progress, and we ask that you do regular check-ins with us. I would like to say that it does take time. It's not like we can't, we don't have a magic wand and overnight, boom, we find you the perfect job. But we are constantly working and strategizing and making, connections with all of our, companies to try to find you the job that you would like to have. We have a strong code of ethics. We maintain a work culture of respect and dignity and compassion. We have clearly established standards of excellence, and all who work for or on behalf of the organization will always uphold these. Truthfulness and transparency are the core of communications, actions, and decisions. Even if we're not able to tell you what you want to hear, we're going to tell you the truth. We empower individuals with different abilities to see their strengths and support their success in the workplace. We see individuals' potential and abilities first, never their limitations. I've heard a lot of discussion tonight about strengths-based approach, and that is exactly how we approach each one of our candidates, and we will always be your advocate. We will always be there advocating for your success and helping you make decisions with your well-being in mind. That's us. Here's our email addresses, and info@zavikon.net is probably the best way for you to reach out to us if you have additional questions. So we also, do have a client list of entertainment companies and gaming companies that we work with. I do want to say there's several services that we offer. So if you want to come to us and become a candidate and get into our candidate database, there is no fees to you for that. We do not charge you any fees, okay? But if you do want to participate in our job readiness training, which is very much customized to your needs, there is a fee. Typically, in those instances, we're working with individuals who are with the regional center and have self-determination funding. We're working with a few of you on tonight. And we really look at the individual and what they need to get to the next place in their career. So for instance, I'm working with individuals to help design their portfolio and make sure it's spot on. So when they present themselves, that they have a really tight, strong portfolio showcasing their skills. So with that said, we do have a webinar coming up on April 7th. I'll post it with Judy on OCASG, but we have a wonderful person who's an animator joining us to give advice on how to best craft your portfolio and also kind of the path into the industry. He's had a very successful career, but not only that, he was a recruiter at one point. So he was recruiting for a company that was quite large, and he knows exactly how to advise you on how to seek employment. I'm really excited about it. His name is Ty Cole. It'll be on April 7th at 4:30 Pacific time, 4:30 to 5:30, and we're going to have a few people showcasing their portfolio for his critique and feedback. So really excited about that. Thank you again, Judy, and I'll open it up for questions.
There's a few questions in the chat if you want to take a look. I've been trying to type some answers, but
one person was asking about casting. So are you involved with acting at all, Rebecca?
We actually are. So we have a client that has asked us to help them cast a couple of times. And so absolutely, if you are interested in discussing that with us, please, we'll absolutely see what we can do. But we have a few clients that have asked about casting. Yes.
Yeah, and tell us, what kind of jobs are you finding lately? I mean, what field seems to be of interest in the entertainment field?
Well, I'm going to be straightforward. It's tech. Everything's tech. I mean, we're being asked constantly to help find technology talent. However, a lot of the studios are finding that they need to, you know, open their doors more to entry-level people and bring diversity of thought in. So at the perfect time right now, I see a movement in the studios to bring neurodiversity into their hiring practices. And that is also spreading throughout the creative departments. So Hilary and I are out there working our magic, and we're really, you know, out there preaching the importance of diversity of thought and diversity and creativity. And so we have clients that are listening, and it's only going to get stronger and stronger. And with the work that Exceptional Minds is doing and AFA Hub, I think collectively we are out there really hopefully being very loud and proud about what we're doing and opening those doors for our creatives.
Okay, this came from Patricia. She was asking if you're seeing changes in moving to online for employment.
Yeah, it's interesting. So yes and no. We have a few clients that are going back now into hybrid. They do see the importance of having their teams together and are wanting, I think it also has to do with real estate, right? They have a lot of commercial real estate and they don't want it to go to waste. So a lot of our clients are going back, but it's hybrid, and I'm seeing more often than not 2 days a week.
Okay. Well, I think what we're going to do is, you're staying till the end, right? So we'll be here for the discussion, because I think it'll get a lot more interesting when we open it up. And so I am going to thank you so much. I don't think if there's any more questions in the chat, put them there, and Hilary and Rebecca will be back with us very shortly. But I am pleased to introduce our next speaker. Let me remove Hilary and Rebecca from the spotlight. And I'm really, really thrilled to have Karen O'Hanlon here. Karen and I got to know each other, I think about 6 years ago. Is it that long? When I got a call from them about maybe they wanted to do something with autism and the theater. And that led us on a whole path that I'm sure Karen's going to share where it's led to. So hi, Karen.
Hi. Thank you so much. Well, we actually have a larger presentations on May 11th, on Wednesday, May 11th. So today I just going to come and introduce myself and introduce the program. So we can do a little bit more. I have students that'll come on the May 11th and talk a little bit more in depth about our program. But first, let me introduce our theater. The Chance Theater is located in Anaheim Hills. And our theater, we really believe that theater is a gym for empathy. And as a theater company, we are committed to telling stories that aren't being told and making sure that everyone is part of the narrative. And our teen Speak Up program started about 16 years ago. And the point of the program is to give teens a skill set to find their own voice through writing scripts, through acting. What makes theater so wonderful is that it's so many unique talents that come together to put on a show. So all of our students do act, but throughout our journey together, we create an original script. We go through all of the jobs of theater, set design, costume design, stage management, give the students opportunities to learn and grow in all of those areas. And being a professional theater, we're able to pull in resources and have people come in and give them elevated lectures and any place that they're interested in. We offer our Speak Up program to veterans, teens, and as Judy said, about this is our 6th summer. So 5 years ago, we started what we call Spectrum Teens Speak Up. And it's just been a wonderful experience because we as an audience members have been able to learn and grow from these students. And that's really been the best part, helping the students find their voice, find each other, and find their community, and making sure that theater is accessible for everybody. Not everybody has the finances for these programs or opportunities for these programs. Schools are rapidly shutting down their theater programs. So we're trying to make sure that theater is accessible for everyone and that everyone has an opportunity. And thankfully, thanks to this wonderful organization, we are able to offer this program completely free of charge where every student is scholarshiped. Our program is a 6-week theater camp. Our students meet from 10 to 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We learned right away that socialization is a big part of what we're looking for in a summer program. A lot of the kids expressed maybe having difficulties at school making friends. So we jump right into that and we discuss that and we make art about it. And we give the kids an opportunity to really bond and find their groups. And that's been one of the most wonderful parts, is having the same kids come back every summer, so excited to see each other, so excited to create with fresh new ideas and pushing themselves and taking risks. And it's just been a wonderful experience.
Karen, I have the video queued up. If you
great.
would like me to share that.
Absolutely. I had it queued up too, but it's probably better from you.
Oh,
So why don't you go ahead and play that? And then
let me try. And then if I have problems, we'll move to you. So.
Just remember to share sound.
I know.
What do you want from the other person? What is the story you're telling? What do you want the audience to know? Thank you for sharing yourself on stage today. Brave people and have fun.
My name is Coyote Odebo. My favorite part was how we put on a play and it brought us all closer together. 4 more years till we're out on our own. It's not yet time for us to be alone.
It's a good place to be around other people like you, and also it's just a really fun place that you can goof off in. It's not like totally serious.
I signed for Speak Up Spectrum because theater is my passion. It was still dark outside when I woke up. I needed to walk to ease my nerves.
Don't worry, sir. You and the anti-villain agency are protected by me.
The AVA and the world needs you, Wave Runner.
I came here and now I have so much stuff to work on. My time is filled. So I've been trying to save people, and I don't like to be touched or hugged, but they rarely ever understand. I hope this becomes a year-round program.
I decided to sign up for Speak Up Spectrum because I thought it'd be pretty fun for me to enjoy, during the summer.
None of us get to choose where we're born, what our genetics are, and what our family is like. But we do get to choose how we treat others.
Everyone is nice here.
That's my favorite band.
And you'll love it, and you'll be in the play that you'll make, that you'll create with your friends.
I'm like a bird. I don't want to be stuffed in a cage. I want to spread my wings and fly free. My favorite part was like making new friends and playing games with them. I can't speak for anyone but myself, but I can assure you that your thoughts on autism may change. It is an absolutely wonderful program. Everybody here is kind, always willing to listen to you, trying to cheer you up when you're having a bad day. And it is one of the greatest things I feel I have done so far.
Thank you. So that's just a little from our first summer. I'm like, those kids are there's some of them have graduated already, or they come back and have spent additional summers with us. So I love that first video. Last summer, for me, the program's always evolving around the students that are in the room, who they are, what they want to talk about. And each summer it's different in its own unique way. And it's always just a beautiful experience. Last summer, we had an interesting group. We had 12 students, and we had about half were older in their final years of high school, and they've done our program many times. And then the other half were younger students who were newly diagnosed and weren't really sure what these things meant. So the program that we decided to do last summer, in addition to really funny, quirky scenes and fairy tales reimagining, were the conversations that the kids actually had in our groups, where the older kids were giving advice to the younger kids. And we just created this beautiful play and this beautiful through line of their exploration of who am I, and what do I want to say and how do I want to express myself? So I'm really, really looking forward to this summer. We try to keep our numbers down because, like I said, we want to make sure that these kids get stage time. They get stage time. They get as much as they want. They are writing monologues. They are creating scenes. They are all on stage together having these beautiful shared moments. So we usually try to keep the program between like 10 to 15 kids, just again, to make sure that everybody gets that stage time. We are meeting for 6 weeks. We meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 3, and we do an hour lunch break. And during that hour lunch break, we just hang out, enjoy each other's company. You can go on your iPad then if you need downtime. It's what you need during that hour. But we've been finding that everybody's eating lunch together and using that time to really socialize and get to know each other and build those friendships. After 5 weeks, we do a tech week where we bring in our stage managers and we start to really dive in on the set and the costumes and bringing in other parts of the theater that are going to help fulfill our show. And we do a tech week for 1 week, and then they perform on the Chance Theater stage. Our Cripe stage it's a decent mid-size. It holds about 150, so it's a nice size for the kids to explore and be in that professional setting with quality lights and quality staff around them.
Thanks, Karen.
Yeah.
I just want to let everyone know that if you're interested, there'll be an email going out. It might have even gone out. It's either going out tomorrow or it went out today. I can't remember. I queued up so many emails before we started. And so there'll be information about the Chance Theater with a link to their website and registration information. It's also on our homepage, www.ocaspergers.org. There's a link to the Chance Theater as well. So you should be able to find it. And as Karen said, you're coming back on May 11th?
Yeah, we'll be back May 11th. We have a couple students joining us to talk about their experience and to really just answer any questions that you have. The process for us is right on our website. You can watch that video again. There's also additional information about the theater itself and the program. There's a registration form. Just fill out the registration form, and then we will schedule a Zoom interview. I do like to speak to parents and to the students both at that time, usually just about 30 minutes, and make sure the program's a great fit. After that, we'll do an in-person at the theater orientation meeting.
Okay, so Karen, are you going to be able to stick around for a few minutes?
I will be here, yeah.
Okay, terrific. So I want to cook through the rest of this so that we can have the discussion. And our next speaker is Donald Lane. Don and I met, it just seems like a few weeks ago, and he introduced himself to me and told me about the Frida Cinema. And I asked him to come today to make some announcements and share what's going on there. So hi, Don.
Hey, Judith. Hey, everybody. My story is a little bit different in terms of what we're doing. I've been in and out of the entertainment industry for most of my career. I've worked everything from exhibition to post-production to exhibition and in between. I've worked for vendors, I've worked for studios, and I've built theaters across the country. And I'm also the father of a son who's on the spectrum. And so when I took the job at the Frida, we're a nonprofit art house cinema. We're dedicated to enriching, educating, and connecting communities through the art of cinema. And I really wanted to work there because of the opportunity to create some programming for those who are on the spectrum. One of the things that that I had talked to Judy about, as a parent coming up, sometimes we had autism-friendly screenings, but they were mainly for younger kids. They were, Disney features, and I mean that was great for that time. But now my son's 20, 22, and he's maybe not wanting to see Frozen for the 12th time. And so at a recent drive-in screening that we produced for New Vista Academy, they do an annual film festival. I got to talking with some of the principals there, and I thought it'd be fun to do like autism-friendly screenings, but maybe for more adult audiences. I know that as a parent of a young adult, like I said, my son's 20. Finding those opportunities to interact and to be social, once you get out of school and you get into, career or any of these, fine programs you guys are doing, it seems like those opportunities for being social kind of drop off. And so we are trying to create some type of screening program for individuals on the spectrum, but movies more like, Marvel or Fast and the Furious and those types of things. Maybe make it more of a mixer for young autistic adults and those on the spectrum. So that's kind of the first thing that we're doing. We're also looking at, showcasing additional work by creators that are on the spectrum. Sometimes we have art shows in our lobbies. We're the type of theater that does both art films and repertory work. For instance, in April, if anyone knows the Studio Ghibli movies, we're showing all 22 of those on screen. Most of them will be in Japanese with subtitles, a few were dubbed. But that's kind of the cool kind of programming that we can do. We can bring, to the masses. As part of that, I think we're also going to be trying to do a Studio Ghibli art show. And so we produce a lot of events. We do a lot of rentals. One of the things I thought, as I was hearing you guys talk about, these amazing programs, is being a destination for you guys to actually do maybe awards or, putting your students' work up on the screen in an environment where they can actually, see it and talk about it. And so if you guys are interested in any of that, I'd be happy to help with that as well. So really, we're going to be doing this series, talking with Taka and New Vista. Judy's been very kind to let us actually post on the calendar. And so when we get it up and running, if you're interested, check that. I'm going to put my email in the chat as well. If you've got any questions, we'd love to hear you guys because I'm very passionate about serving underserved communities. And I'm happy to do that for, for my son and for, everyone else on the spectrum. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it.